The following story and photos are from Giant Panda King's book, Gotham 1919 to 1939, by Russell S. Beatty, available from www.giantpandaking.com. Viewer discretion is advised.
I think that I'm leaving Gotham in capable hands. I've prepared my team for this for years, for my retirement.
When the Great Depression hit America, Gotham did not fare much better than any other city in the United States. The reality for many revolved around just surviving. People would wait for hours in food lines to get a meal. Sometimes they had to resort to combing through trash just to find the tiniest morsel of rotten food. When the cold winters hit, all people could do was try to find shelter and hope that those nights would not be their last. This was the reality for countless in America, and this was the reality for a young boy named Lonnie Mackin in Gotham City. Lonnie had his mother, father, and sister. They helped each other to get by, and Lonnie's mother encouraged Lonnie especially to learn to read, teaching him herself. School was considered a luxury to most during the height of the Depression. She would bring home any book she could get her hands on, fairy tales, mathematics, and even political texts. These books were often old and worn, but no matter the subject, Lonnie devoured this reading material. When Lonnie reached the age of 16, his mother and sister contracted and died from a small Spanish flu outbreak. The Spanish flu pandemic had ended years prior, but still became problematic in low-income homes and crowded living areas. Lonnie's mother and sister were just two of the unlucky few to contract it. These deaths absolutely broke the young boy, and it sank his father into a depression. Before long, Lonnie's father had drunk himself into an early grave. Lonnie was now alone in the world, and the world was terrifying. The one thing that kept Lonnie going was a book his mother had given him. She had found countless assorted things for him to read, but this one was different. It impacted Lonnie on a deeper level. It was like a Bible to him. This text was Faccia a Faccia col Nemico, or Face to Face with the Enemy, by the Italian anarchist Luigi Galliani. Galliani was the same man who had inspired Temple Fugit, the Clock King, years earlier. This text embraced the term propaganda of the deed, which justified violence as a catalyst for revolution. Lonnie had seen so much unfairness and injustice in his lifetime. The words in this book simply made sense to him. The imbalance of power and wealth was evident to him. All around, Lonnie saw the poor suffering as a result of the mistakes of the rich. It made him angry, resentful, and bitter. He wanted someone to pay for the injustice happening in Gotham every day. His own family had been impacted by these very mistakes, and Lonnie wanted it to be made right. The corruption in Gotham made it clear to him that he would seemingly never find justice through conventional means. Lonnie wanted change, justice, vengeance. Lonnie wanted anarchy. The change that Lonnie wanted obviously couldn't come from just him. He was only 16 years old. He had seen and heard enough about the masked vigilantes and criminals in Gotham to reach a realization. If he wanted to make change happen, he would need a symbol to accompany his ideals. A symbol or moniker would give him a stake in the game being played by those colorful individuals. Lonnie knew that if he could establish himself as a player in this game of masks, even Gotham's press would be interested in his motivations and mission. He became obsessed with this idea and began formulating plans. He took major inspiration from the Clock King's horrendous exploits and learned anything and everything he could about constructing incendiary devices. As a child, he had read to sharpen his mind and foster creativity. Now he read to bring about destruction and mayhem. Lonnie set his eyes on those who he deemed responsible for the plight of the common citizens of Gotham, the rich and wealthy. Chief amongst his targets was the one who had helped pull Gotham out of the Great Depression, Bruce Wayne. Wayne Enterprises had been instrumental in aiding Gotham through the company's ventures and diversification. In spite of this, Lonnie believed that Bruce was a prime example of everything that was wrong with society. Bruce Wayne had been handed an easy life on a silver platter, and Lonnie had scrounged for scraps in the streets. Bruce Wayne had been handed a fortune to do whatever he pleased with. Lonnie had been poor his whole life. Lonnie surmised that there must be others who felt similarly about Bruce Wayne. He believed that taking down Bruce Wayne was the match that would light the fires of revolution in Gotham City. And so, Lonnie prepared. He began circulating word of his planned revolution using the moniker Anarchy. He donned a black outfit, hat, and a mask to hide his true identity. No one could ever know that he was merely a teenager if he hid his true face. He began passing out pamphlets and works of his own, preparing incendiary devices for his inevitable rise to prominence, and even gaining a small following to aid him in these tasks. Many people had been slighted in the Great Depression. Stirring the societal pot proved a fairly easy task to Anarchy. Anarchy's plans would not come to fruition for some time, but he would make a name for himself. Whispers were heard and the police kept vigilant. They had heard rumors of a resurgence similar to the Clock King attacks and did not want to take any chances. Anarchy reveled in the game that he had so quickly become a player in. He was excited to bring a new era to Gotham City, one of chaos, confusion, and, in his own mind, justice. Unfortunately for him, Anarchy would not get to see much of the fruit of his labors. In fact, his reign would be relatively short-lived. During the events of the Nightfall, Anarchy would only be a minor player in a different game altogether. Chaos would indeed reign in Gotham, but it would not be under the reign of Lonnie Mackin.